do it like a little moody at first.
Moody. You know why? Because it matches the weather.
Yes. Hello, everyone. It is episode 377, and Sarah is waterlogged.
For sure. It's actually funny you say that because that was the problem my hair was having for a while.
What?
Too much moisture.
Oh, that's what they said?
Yeah.
Who's they? I don't know.
Like my hairdresser, actually.
She said that is too moist.
Yeah.
For real?
Oh, it's a real nightmare back and forth with his hair. Like, too much protein, too much moisture, whatever. Like,
but how's it going? How's your journey?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good.
What do we call
minus
it?
the too much moisture. That was it turns your hair into like gummy, like rubber band. You pull it and it's just
that's
like,
not good.
Oh my God, that was a nightmare. I lost so much hair. Anyways.
But what causes that? Conditioner?
Yeah, like leave it too much. Because I had too much protein for a while, and then everybody was like, "Oh, you have to use products with no protein in it." So I was like 6 months of no protein in any products, and then just too much moisture, and it's like a balancing act. Who freaking knew? Well, it'd be the same problem if it were curly or straight. But
were you? Let's see. Refresh my memory. We were talking about the curly girl method or whatever
Correct.
you call it.
Yes.
And weren't you there when we were talking about, like, you're in some group?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And then didn't someone we know get kicked out
yes,
of it? What
because
happened?
they talked about straightening it, like using a heating tool, like hot
this
tools
was
to
on
straighten
Patreon,
it. Yes.
our Q&A. Yeah,
Correct.
one of them was like, I'm in one of those groups, and I got banned because she just asked everyone, hey, like, how do you straighten your hair every once in a while? And they were like, get out!
Yes.
She was excommunicated.
Yep.
From
I get it.
Curly, what?
I mean, I don't get it, but I'm not.
Why
I'm
are they
not
so
in any
militant about it? I mean, every once in a while you can straighten, right?
Right. I mean, I don't like. I guess. Well, or maybe not. According
they say
to
no.
Yeah, but I say, whatevs. Do it.
Well, so when you go out in the rain, like just now, does that affect your whole process?
Well, I mean, a light drizzle is kind of good. A little moisture, a little. I don't know, defrizz, kind of like mist thing.
Right.
But
it was
sopping
too
wet.
much.
Yeah, not so much.
No good.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Oh, God, when I was in Costa Rica, my hair, no joke, never dried the entire time I was there.
For real?
For real, never. I don't ever remember it being dry.
I don't really understand that.
Yeah, it's just really porous and, like, holds a lot of water. And so, like, I'd put it in a braid, and end of the day, I'd take it out, braid still wet. Oh, my God, if I put my hair in a ponytail, it would be wet when I get home tonight. Yeah. But that's like, who cares about that?
I mean, I kind of do.
Kind of.
But anyway, the sun's peeking out, so maybe your woes are over.
Yeah. Look at that. Now the sun comes out. I sat there waiting in my car for there to be a break in this torrential downpour. But whatevs. I'm excited because it means there's going to be snow in the mountains. And I'm heading up to the slopes.
All right. Are you for real?
Yeah, for real. Weekend after Thanksgiving.
No way.
So probably like right when this airs, I'll be
OMG.
a little ski bunny.
That's exciting.
I know.
Fun. I'm sure you're excited for that.
The most excited.
I wanted to kick off the show talking about our trip recently to that farm sanctuary where we met all the lovely animals. It was really nice and fun, and they really did name all their pigs after the Saved by the Bell cast, which was really cute.
Oh my God, I didn't even know that. I didn't even read your thing that said that. That is so cute.
Yeah, and
who's
they were
your favorite?
Well, they were like, just watch Slater. He's real naughty.
Well, that fits.
Yeah, no duh.
Don't you always say that the name is like people?
Right.
Yeah,
right. I didn't meet Screech, but I did meet Morris and Kapowski and Lisa Turtle.
I like that.
Yeah, it was
and
really
I like
cute.
that they went with the last names. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was really fun. And the whole point of the sanctuary is to teach people about a plant-based life and to encourage people to not consume meat and dairy or animal products. And, oh my God, there's a rainbow. You have to look. Hold on, we're pausing.
Pause. Well, that was gorgeous.
It was. I'm sorry. I got distracted and had to pause, but it's not every day.
Right. And my favorite part about that was like, Susie was like, hey, Sarah, go yell at Adam to go look at the rainbow. And so I do. And then he goes, oh, I know. I just texted her about it. I'm like, that is adorable. Right. Couple goals right there.
Well, it's the simple things. I mean, that's a real special sight
that's your
to
guys'
see.
like love language right there.
Rainbows.
Sharing rainbows. I was thinking that actually, that my love language is, which like they don't even have as an option, but this is just sharing stuff.
Oh.
Like, hey, I saw this and this reminded me of, it's like not gifts, but it's like
information.
Info, like, hey, I saw this meme.
Tips.
Yeah. Those kind of things.
Yeah, I can see
Sharing,
that.
the exchange.
I don't know what's on my face. I recently was reading a book, and you know how I'm not real into like love languages. Yeah. I mean, I get it, but I'm not like an enthusiast or anything. And the book that I was reading kind of made me think about my own relationship. I'm like, oh, I think I need to explore this more.
Yeah.
Because I think Adam's is physical touch.
Yeah.
And I'm like hands off the merchandise kind of gal. Mostly.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, this could be helpful. So what do I know?
I love this. Snaps for that.
I mean, I don't want to like get too into it because those people are weird, but...
Right. Well, anytime it's just more information to have.
Yeah.
And it helps you better see the ways that other people are showing you love that you might be ignoring.
You might be missing. Yeah.
And like if you're putting out a lot of effort and it's like, man, these people are not receiving this, understanding what your love languages, friends' love languages, family members, like it's not just for intimate relationships.
Yeah.
It's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a moment where I'm like, all right, maybe it's not all phooey.
Yeah, what do you think yours is?
Words of affirmation, I would say, probably. Too. Yeah.
Quality time.
Mm-hmm. Well, the thing is, though, he's great in all areas. Like, he does do that, and he's
acts of service. Yeah, check.
But I'm not, so I am clearly the one that needs to work on these things. But that's all right. We all have room for improvement, don't we?
I bet you're better than you think you are.
Well, definitely not with touch. But I was reflecting on all the pictures of him growing up. Like, him and his sister were like super touchy-feely, and I couldn't even imagine one of my brothers touching me with affection. I mean, that would be, it makes me laugh.
Yeah.
But so you get used to things, and I never got used to that. Anyway.
Interesting.
So we went to the farm and saw all the beautiful animals, and it's really nice that you can interact with them and see how they live and all that. Yeah. But anyway, what do you think about like those type of things where that their agenda is to get you to lean out of meat consumption?
I like, and I think that may be do they outright say that? They're like, we want you to stop eating meat and start, or are they just kind of, or is that implied? They're just kind of showing you.
No, it's not implied.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, and they say like anything that's a step away from meat is good. So even if it's just like meat-free Monday or, learning a new recipe and using tofu, whatever.
Yeah.
But they really want you to not do it at all.
I mean, I think it's maybe a more serious problem than people know or understand, and just like and maybe people get caught up on it, on the health benefits of it. Yeah. They just think, oh, this is just for eating and who cares? Like I know what's good for my body. Yeah. But that's not really what we're focusing on. Like, that's not the whole picture. It's what's sustainable, what's good for our environment, what's good for, the plant, all this stuff. Yeah. So I think that's wonderful that in a way they're just informing people on something that's like, I just feel like it's not like there are two sides to the issue. No, No. But I know that people think they're like, it's like, this is better. Not doing this is worse. That's it. I don't think you can like.
I took this quiz. One of our brainiacs tagged us, and it was in New York Times, but you could take the quiz to determine how like literate you are about the environment. And
I want to take that.
Yeah, it was really nice because it said like, what's the best thing you can do for the planet? And then you had all these options and you had to rank them.
Oh, I love this.
Yeah, so it wasn't just a right or wrong. It was like putting them in order. And sometimes you'd be right, but other times you're like, wow. Because I thought flying would be worse than eating meat, but eating meat was worse than flying. Because you think about the carbon footprint and all that stuff.
Maybe because of how frequent you do it, or probably fly less frequent than...
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
but it
interesting.
was informative.
How do you think you did? Well, how did you do?
I did okay. I did better than average, but there were some things that were surprising, like that example that I gave where I was like, okay, I still have a lot to learn. Because a lot of it is what you've read or been exposed to, and so, some of that is hype. Yeah. Even like the straw thing, it was just like a way in to get people to talk about it. It's really not about straws.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yes.
The other day I was at a restaurant and I got orange juice, and it had like, one of those plastic lids that you stick a straw through. Went to get a straw and already felt guilty because I'm like, oh, I'm using straw. Go to put the straw on the lid, and it does that annoying thing where the straw breaks and like cracks in half, and then they can't use it because it has like a cracked side.
Yeah.
So I got to toss that away. Then I go to get another straw, and I try to put it in the thing. It was like a trampoline for the straw. And I went to go put it in, and it flung back up in the air and landed like 6 feet away from me. And I'm like, oh, my God, I got to get another straw. No. After the third one, I'm like, I can't. I threw them away, and I went to go do that thing of like recycling trash. And I'm like, ugh. I know these like can't be recycled, and I got thrown in the trash. And it was like a whole guilty feeling. And the whole time, right in the car, I remember I have that straw that you gave me, and like I didn't even go get it. And so I have guilt.
Well, you know who should have guilt is Costco, because they have those garbage cans that go, one side is garbage, one side is recycled, but there's no different bag in the.
No.
It's just one big bag.
It's just
I don't know who they think
they're just messing with us.
What is good for the environment and good for your face is BioClarity. It is made out of all those lovely green things that you should be eating, and then you can put them on your face too. BioClarity is a 3-step face wash. I use the one that's good for problem skin, and you can get that kind, or you can get just sort of the regular for people that have beautiful skin and want to keep it that way. And I love that they are not super expensive.
Yeah.
I was just talking
really
about
reasonable.
this, how, their competitors, like $250 for 2 ounces.
And what I love too is, I was thinking about this, my container lasts a really long time.
Yeah.
Like my face wash.
Yeah.
And at first I was like, oh, that's kind of a small thing. Like, I bet I'll go through that. Nope.
Yeah.
Little goes a long way. I am so happy with that. Oh,
yes.
Love it.
And they have like
so
a
good.
holiday ultimate skincare bundle, which is really nice because you can get a good deal. They have that for $75.95 instead of $130 right now, so it's 40% off. So that might be a good gift for friends and family, or you guys can try it to get your skin looking great for the holidays. This holiday season, give the gift of glowing skin courtesy of BioClarity. I love it because it cleared up my skin and it made such a huge difference, and then I don't have to be embarrassed and look stupid. And even better, these products are actually affordable. Right now, you can save 15% off everything on BioClarity's website when you use our code BRAINCANDY at checkout. That's on top of the already incredible 40% off discount on their ultimate skincare bundle. That's BioClarity.com. And don't forget to use our code BRAINCANDY for 15% off at checkout.
Ooh.
We're on to you, Costco. I couldn't believe it. It wasn't all of them, but some of them. Some of the garbage cans.
Yeah. Did I tell you I had a Tinder date once be judgy about my recycling, about me not having a recycling bin?
No.
And I was like,
Wait, so you don't own a recycling bin?
Well, I don't. I like recycle items that I know are recyclable, and I'll like put them in like a Trader Joe's bag or something.
Yeah.
I'll put like my wine bottles or like, the packaging to stuff that you can recycle and everything. And, but I don't have like a separate bin for it. And he was like, oh, do you have a recycling? And I was like, oh no, you can just put it like to the side of the trash can. I'll throw it like, and he like gave me this look.
No!
Like, why don't you have a recycling? And I was like, first of all, there's like a million things I could be judgy about you for. So he was nixed. And he got no more dates.
Was that
it wasn't
why?
just that.
But it was symbolic.
Yeah.
He was that kind of guy.
Like,
wow.
Good thing I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Little does he know how passionate you are about
I know.
single-use plastics.
Right. I was like, if only he read my book I wrote when I was in 2nd grade at the author's fair.
Well, I had read also this other thing, just to keep on the theme about going meat-free.
Yeah.
I really want to know what you think about this. There's a vegan guy who is suing Burger King over the Impossible Burger because he's mad that they cook it on the same grill.
This happened at In-N-Out too.
Okay. What are your thoughts?
Oh God. It depends on how it's advertised. Because, like, if it's advertised as a vegetarian product, it's just advertised as a meatless burger.
Yeah.
So I think that it's fine because you're not saying, like, there's no animal byproducts in it. Mm-hmm. It would be how they advertise it. or how they like, I don't know.
Well,
legally.
according to the article that I read, it was saying that Burger King says, this is a, whatever they call that, meatless, whatever. And that if you want it to be completely vegan or whatever, then you have to make a special request and say, like fucking Coach Your Kitchen. Like you gotta move it over.
Yeah.
But so I don't know what he's worked up about.
Right, same.
And it's called, sir, Burger King.
Right.
Like, I don't know where you thought you were headed for your meal.
And he should be grateful because, like, come on.
It really bugs me.
Yeah. And it's always like,
fuck out of here.
Vegetarian people.
Don't say that.
No, but I'm thinking back to the vegan lady with the barbecue who was like complaining about that. Like,
That was so funny.
Right. I mean, I get it. They're like,
too.
Okay, they're, advocates, I guess.
I definitely get it.
Don't write me, people. I totally get it. I support every and all
She's
lifestyle
going to ask
choices.
me to edit that out.
No, I won't.
Not.
I don't even care.
Oh, good.
I don't even care.
No, I get
it
it too, but get out of here when you can get the Impossible Burger and make a special request.
Yeah.
Or you can just eat it and shut up.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
It's just looking for something.
You walked your ass into a Burger King, and then you're mad about all the burgers.
Yeah.
It's like going to Burger King and being mad about the Royals. Like, there's kings there and there's burgers. I don't know what to tell you.
Right. Okay, this is what to expect. Or like mad they didn't have like a princess crown, and you know how they only have like the king. It's Burger King, not Burger Princess.
Yeah, bitch.
I get it. Question for you. More speaking of hamburgers.
Yeah.
I've had many discussions about the ranking of like burgers and like best burger places.
Yeah. This is a big
debate.
One.
Yeah, I almost feel like this is like more
too controversial for us.
So, have you eaten at Smash Burger?
I have.
Okay, Smash Burger, Five Guys, In-N-Out, The Habit.
Oh yeah, The Habit. I don't think I've had that.
Okay,
one. Is that really good?
Well,
you don't want to reveal.
I don't want to reveal my thoughts yet. How would you rank those?
I would put In-N-Out at number one.
Okay. Have you had Five Guys?
I have.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Five Guys, Smash Burger's okay. And what was the other one?
The Habit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so like
but
that's the order.
I get mad when people pick Five Guys over In-N-Out.
Okay. Now, I'm a Five Guys. Because if we're talking about just the burger.
That's Bo, you guys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's my dog.
It's not Santa.
No, that's real funny, though. He's here early. He's like, hamburgers? I'm into it.
Right.
Okay, so if we're talking just strictly burger,
yes,
In-N-Out,
we are.
We're not taking into consideration the French fries?
No, we aren't.
Okay.
They suck at In-N-Out.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
That is, I was just, and Ren was like In-N-Out's kryptonite are French fries. Like, they would be across the board number one. Five Guys wins for French fries.
Yes. So he's in agreement that In-N-Out fries suck.
Correct.
Okay, good.
Yes.
I mean, that was a close one there.
I know. Right. Whew.
Yeah. What are they doing?
What are they doing? And they're good for 10 seconds.
What's the best fry? Not of just the group you mentioned.
Oh, the best one? Red Robin.
That's a good choice.
How fast?
I do like Red Robin.
And my favorite burger is Johnny Rockets, but that wasn't on the list.
I would agree that Johnny Rocket and Red Robin are superior to In-N-Out even.
Whoa! Like fries or burgers too?
Burgers.
Whoa!
I love a Red Robin burger.
Yeah, I do too.
We should really, we need a bigger list.
Oh, yeah, we need to expand this list.
Yeah, we need to put this on social, spread the word.
Oh my gosh, this is a poll, this is a whole, we need to do one of those bracket things.
It's
like March Madness kind of thing. Yeah.
I'm sure this has been done.
I'm sure.
The best fries, though, I think McDonald's are up there.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, I'm like, mentally, like, I can't get down. They are the best.
Yeah,
but
they're good.
It's hard for me to even classify them as a food product.
I do think it's funny, though, that warm or hot McDonald's French fries are like the best thing you ever ate, but cold ones are the worst thing you've ever ate.
Correct.
Like, how can it be that far apart?
Yes.
Just by temperature.
Yeah, because In-N-Outs are terrible when they're cold, but they're not as good on a scale. It's like not as big of a swing. Yes, this is very important.
Yeah, we're doing God's work today, you guys.
Absolutely. But I tried The Habit. Wasn't for me.
What is this place you're calling? Like, what is this? Who's going there?
I guess a lot of people. It's a good one. And then I because I couldn't decide where to go. So I, no joke, Googled Five Guys versus The Habit. Versus The Habit. I said that. Just, it was kind of stuttering. And it was people said The Habit. And
no.
Yeah. And here's the difference is, do you like it over an open grill, like char-broiled hamburger?
Oh, okay.
Or do you like a griddle hamburger?
I guess I like griddle.
I'm a griddle gal, too. Unless it's like at home.
Griddle gal.
Yeah. It just always tastes like they've added fake smoky flavor. Yes.
Yes.
And I can't get that because, like, when I learned that Burger King, Carl's Jr., and McDonald's and all those places did that, I couldn't get it out of my head that it was like synthetic smoke. Like that smoke flavor. Can't do it.
Wow.
So I need to know it's like the real deal. Unless it's like cooked at home, then I'm like, yeah, give me the open flame.
The open flame.
Yes. I must be hungry because this is a lot of talk about food.
Okay,
and we were the
I'll
whole point was
the
this
subject.
meatless.
I know,
meatless,
it's
and
terrible.
I ended up talking about the ultimate list of hamburgers. What's wrong with me?
Well, if you eat a lot of meat, I'm sure you could possibly end up at the doctor's. Maybe you have indigestion.
My mom does. She's highly allergic to red meat.
Oh my God. Well, then she will want her healthcare professionals to be comfortable wearing their FIGS clothing.
Yes.
These uniforms are so nice for people in the medical field.
Oh, my dermatologist was wearing them.
Oh.
Yes. And I didn't want to get into it.
Were they like a cute color?
Yes.
I didn't want to get into
it.
Yeah, they have really
mostly
cute.
Amazing fit.
Yeah, they fit
like,
nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they fit nice and they're not itchy. They have antimicrobial properties, so who knows?
You want that.
Yeah, right.
For goodness sakes.
Right, and these people seriously do the Lord's work. We're just joking when we say we do it. And so they ought to be comfortable. FIGS make a great gift for all the people in your life that work in that field. And you can show how much you care at the end of the year with FIGS. This holiday season, FIGS is going to make that easy by providing you with 15% off your first purchase by using code BRAINCANDY. Get ready to love your scrubs. Head to wearfigs.com, wearfigs.com, and enter our code BRAINCANDY at checkout. I have some of them here. They're super soft and well-made. You'll love them. Yeah, I started by talking about leaning out of...
Yeah.
I know, but this is kind of the thing. It's hard. It's everywhere.
Well, if you I'm meatless most days of the week.
I do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then when I do eat meat, I'm like, give me a burger.
You want it real good and juicy.
Yeah. And I ended up with the habit last night because I spent too long trying to decide where I wanted a burger from, and Five Guys closed.
Oh my God, made your decision for you.
Yeah, and I was going to use, one of those delivery Postmates, and because I had a coupon code for it.
It's real nice, Sarah.
And they closed.
Didn't work
so
out.
I had to drive myself.
This is tragic.
At 10:30. That's what I get for eating at 10:30.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I know.
Well, I know that Thanksgiving is over, but there was a article about Taco Bell was encouraging people to order their tacos and then put them in a blender and use it as a bisque for Thanksgiving.
What? A bisque? I think that's taking a lot of liberty on the word bisque. Remember that that Michelin restaurant that lost its star because he used the wrong kind of cheese in like a souffle or whatever?
Yes, I do remember.
So I don't know if you're going to be a snobby food person, if you can call it a bisque if it doesn't have the properties. Like, what's the what are the ingredients? Is it like one of those things
it
where
just said tacos?
Well, I know the ingredients in that one, but like a proper bisque is what?
Oh, right.
You know?
Yeah. What's the definition of a bisque?
Correct.
Is it just a creamy?
Yeah.
No.
That would be nasty. And is it with the shell? And also hard or soft?
I believe it is with the shell. Maybe they're trying to go for like a Mexican tortilla situation.
That doesn't work. It wouldn't work with the hard tacos. Really?
I think so. Oh, you think they were encouraging just soft tacos?
Well, imagine a hard taco in a blender.
We're going to have to do this.
Yeah, this is a good... You know what? We actually need an experiment episode. Oh. There are a few things, like we were supposed to do a decaf regular coffee blind taste test. Mm-hmm. I feel like we can just throw the Pepsi challenge in there for shits and giggles. There are a few other things that we needed to test. So
yeah, that's true.
I'm going to make a list, and the next time I'm going to
Are we going to record while we do it, or are we going to do all the experiments and then just report?
We'll record while we do them. I mean, that seems like the more fun thing to do.
So we're going to make Taco Bell bisque as well?
Yes.
Oh,
we can like pre-make it and then just enjoy it. Now, as a bisque, I would imagine, you're dipping something into it? You're eating it by itself?
I think it's up to you.
Oh, well.
You have freedom.
Gosh.
I don't know, but I know I'm not eating it.
I definitely not.
Yeah, we're not into that. Yeah, I just thought I'd mention that. I mean, sure, Thanksgiving's over, but you could do it any day, really. I mean, make every day a holiday with Taco Bell bisque.
Oh, my God. This is not an ad.
It's the opposite of an ad.
God.
Okay, now, let's have a debate about this.
Yes.
In Japan, that's where they sumo, right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. All of a sudden, I was like, is it just Japan?
Yes.
Well, anyway, there was a situation where a politician was in the ring, like giving a speech, and people were all there to watch, and he had a medical emergency, or I guess a stroke or brain problem.
Okay, yeah.
And so, obviously, any healthcare professionals wearing figs would, run down and try to resuscitate and help this person, and they wouldn't. They said, "No, ladies, get the heck out of there."
What?
Like, they made an announcement, like, get out of there, women. Yeah, women went down to help with CPR and stuff, and they were like, get out of the ring, you're not allowed. No women allowed in a sumo ring.
Oh, get out of here.
I'm serious. Can you believe?
No, I can't. That's when you make an exception.
Of
when somebody's
course.
dying.
Can you believe that there would even be a debate?
No, but, if there's any place that's going to hold on to tradition, I feel like
it's in the sumo ring.
It's Japan.
Yeah. They rate really poorly with gender equality amongst developed countries.
It's really interesting. And I don't know if it's still the case, but I hear that is one of the only countries that has a negative population growth.
Yeah.
And that also really high rates of depression for males because they're like not connecting to females and vice versa. And it's maybe it's like a bunch of women who want more gender equality.
It's kind of like growing pains where they have tradition, but then the whole world is changing. And so there's this tension between those two things.
Interesting.
Yeah, but come on.
No, that's so ridiculous. I mean,
but
could you imagine?
No. And I'd like to, I don't know if the guy survived or not, but like if he did, I'd love to ask him.
Yes, that's a really good question.
What his preference
How would you feel? Oh my goodness.
And I mean, talk about the golden rule. I mean, would anybody say, no, please let me die instead of bringing in the female physician or nurse?
No.
Ridiculous.
Right.
And
I wonder if there are any, like, maybe not Japan, but say you're in the United States and that similar thing were to happen and they pretty much like stopped you from receiving care. Is that a not punishable offense? Like, is that?
I think that would be a big problem here. I don't know how it would work there, but
I mean, I wonder what that falls in the category. Like,
even just the Hippocratic Oath to do no harm. I mean, these people have, an obligation to assist.
Wow.
I mean, it's just to me that an event like this highlights the ways that the rule to begin with is absurd, even if there is no emergency. Because it shows how this is so stupid.
Yeah.
Yes. And the sport is not just sort of male-centric. The 50% of the audience is female.
Oh, my God.
So it's not as if, like, they're at the Mason Lodge or whatever.
And then what's going to happen? Let's go worst case scenario.
Nothing's worse than that guy dying.
Right.
Yeah.
So what? What is the perceived consequence? Well, I would be so curious. I would just want to ask them. And if they say, well, it's tradition, then I'm going to push back and say, well, why?
That is the word that they used.
Yeah, but like what's, and if you were to do it, then what?
Nothing.
That's like I'm not happy with that answer.
Well, anytime tradition.
Sweater's itchy when it's wet. Blah.
I'm sure. Do you want to change?
Gross. Well,
you can put on some merch.
Yeah, I might after in a little bit.
You don't want me to pause it?
Kind of, yeah, I do.
Okay.
Thanks.
She's better now. That is the worst feeling.
Yes. Oh my gosh. My arms were itchy.
Oh my gosh. It could have been affecting your performance.
It probably was. I was thinking about it.
But anyway, yeah, I see what you're saying about like worst case scenario.
Yeah, just give me.
But the idea that tradition would be more important to you than whether someone lives or dies, you might want to look in the mirror.
Right. And what are they, so like faulty thinking and, those kind of like irrational thoughts.
Yeah.
I mean, that's something I do with clients all the time is challenge them on what's the worst case, like, okay, so this'll happen, then, like fill in the blank, like, okay, then what? And most of the time they're like, and it's really hard to, a lot of times when like we think it's going to be so bad, we have this idea of like, I don't know, these like fixed rules or expectations or guidelines or whatever it is. Like I can't speak up or I can't, who knows? There's like a million different ones. And when you actually push somebody as to like why they hold that belief and like what the consequence would be, most people realize that the consequences, it's like crazy and that you'd ever think that there would be. Like the perceived consequences are not realistic.
It'd be great if you could go to Japan and sort this out, though.
Well,
'cause
try my best. Might be a little bit of a language barrier. Get a translator.
It's one thing if one person has this faulty belief, but when a whole culture is participating in something that we think is so dumb and so obviously wrong, it makes you question reality. You're like, what? How could all these people be in agreement about this situation?
That's how deep, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like constructs, like social constructs and like these things, perceived concept, like we don't even know. Because that's just like how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why we have to push back on all that shit.
Well, one thing I do not want to push back on is ordering some stuff from Legacy Box, especially for the holidays. I bet you have tons of people that are on your list and you're like, what should I get them?
All your, like grandma, aunts, parents, anybody.
All of them have like pictures, videos, all that stuff that needs to be digitized.
Yes.
I used Legacy Box to digitize a bunch of my old road rolls footage, which were on VHS, and lots of stuff from my childhood, like the hard copy of pictures. I got those digitized. It was super easy. And this Black Friday and Cyber Monday, forget about doorbusters and head to legacybox.com for their best deal of the year. Your life's biggest moments call for some big savings. Get 60% off Black Friday and Cyber Monday orders. While everyone else is going crazy trying to get the best deals this Black Friday and Cyber Monday, you can relax knowing you saved big on saving your memories. After all, technology can be replaced with the next best thing, but a lifetime of one-of-a-kind memories, that's irreplaceable. Order your Legacy Box today to take advantage of Legacy Box's Black Friday Cyber Monday sale. For a limited time, take an unprecedented 60% off. Go to legacybox.com/brain to get 60% off your first order. Save your time and memories. Go to legacybox.com/brain and save 60%.
It's nice.
Yes, that is nice.
I mean, I did it, so you should too.
Yeah, me too. Okay, what do you think? We've talked about Marie Kondo on here a lot and her hit book, The Life-Changing Magic. No, is that right?
Yes, The Life-Changing
Magic.
Magic.
Why are you laughing?
Because I mean, it's like silly, but I was introducing that concept to Ren, and he has now taken it and run and like gotten
Was he not familiar?
No, and then he couldn't remember what it was called, and he said, like, what do you call it? Like, gives you the tingles? And I was like, no, sparks joy. But that's already trademarked, so maybe we just go with gives you the tingles. It's like, and so it made me laugh. But
what does he think about it?
He loves it.
It's like was in a time capsule. Like, how does he not know about this?
Like, I think he had maybe like heard of it, but like
he didn't know
the real. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, you hold it and see if it sparks joy. And he was like, I've gotten rid of so much stuff. It's like the best. Okay. Downsizing. It's great.
He loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I love it too. I love her whole philosophy, and I thought the book was good. And I kind of laughed to myself about the book because I don't know how it became a bestseller, because you would think that like there'd be just one copy, and then people would just keep passing it along because we're all getting rid of everything.
Correct.
So like how did this end up being on the bestsellers list? We don't know. But
the irony.
The irony. The thing is now, though...
What? Uh-oh.
The natural progression of these things. She now has a store on her website.
Right, where you could buy the stuff to Marie Kondo Your Life.
You would think. Huh? But it's like tchotchkes.
No.
Yes.
No, I don't believe it.
Like decorative items.
No. I need to see this.
Honestly.
I can't even believe my own ears.
Yeah. And it's like, Goop, the Gwyneth Paltrow one?
Yes.
It's like that, where a lot of them are like frivolous and really expensive.
What?
And it seems...
The jade egg for your vagina.
Right. And some of them are like crystals.
Well, I'm for that.
I'm for it.
Yeah, but that's tchotchke stuff. I can't believe she's doing this. This can't be...
Isn't that seemingly incongruent?
Yes. There's got to be more to the story.
I don't think there is, Sarah.
Like, she's the one who's, like, greenlighting this, or she's sold her name to...
It's on her website. And she claims that she picked up each item and they all spark joy, which is great.
For her?
Yes!
That's...
Now we're supposed to trust her judgment?
Listen here, Kondo. I got some questions for you. This is not sparking joy in me, this conversation.
Yeah, because we don't like hypocrites.
Yeah,
and that's what we have cooking here.
That's a problem for me. That, you know what? This is like anything. When it's almost like there's a cult-like following, it becomes... I think with anything, you got to stay true. Stay like the true message. Like, I don't know, things get
the
like...
essence.
The essence, thank you. That was like what I'm looking for. What's the essence of this? Too extreme. I don't know. Who knows?
I had read profiles of her when the show came out on Netflix.
Yeah.
And they were saying how she was sort of ambivalent about the whole movement. Even though she wanted people to clean out their lives and she believes in the worldview, she kind of felt icky about like how it was being commercialized. Apparently she got over that.
Yeah, apparently. And also I remember when I was Marie Kondo methoding my whole life.
Yeah.
I went to look for those little boxes, and she sold them, and they were very expensive. And then I remember how you told me that what her book said was that shoe boxes are the best.
Right.
Okay, well, I've been using those.
Me too.
And
that was one of the things I really liked about her book, was it wasn't about, here's all this stuff you should buy instead of all the crap. It was just like repurposing. I love that. I love anytime someone gives me an idea for how to use something again. Yeah. Again, with the earth thing.
Do you remember the movie Heavyweights from way back when? It's a movie about a fat camp, and Ben Stiller's in it, and he plays the crazy... there are two camps. There's like one across the street that's like all the cool kid, like classic camp movie, setup.
But they're all heavy folks.
Yeah, and then there's one, I can't remember the name of the camp. It's got a funny name. But, they're like competing against this like rival camp or whatever. But Ben Stiller's character is this fitness guru who's like totally insane and crazy and takes everything to an extreme. And you find out that he's like a former overweight person himself who like had to go nuts and at any point, and then in a moment he like breaks and he probably like eats a bunch of unhealthy food or whatever. Could this be that secretly Marie Kondo is a hoarder and she's been fighting off? It's like she had to go to the extremes because she knows that deep down inside this is her like default, like this is her shame. Yeah. And now that she's like at this point where like there's the stress of success is getting her, and just like Ben Stiller in Heavyweight, he cracked and he's eating a large pizza, and she's like, tchotchkes for everyone.
It's possible, and that's as good of an explanation.
Because I got no other.
I don't either, because it doesn't understand. There's a dissonance between my understanding of who Marie Kondo is.
Even with making a bunch of money, it seems like the videos I've watched of hers on her Instagram, she's all about living this humble life.
I know, very modest.
Just have like a few items and things.
Yeah,
and she's just like, give me that paper.
She really wants you to get like some great bookends and a vase.
That's
for
weird.
$100. Yeah.
I don't know.
We're disappointed in you, Marie. We're not mad. We're just disappointed.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still going to file fold on my shirts.
Yeah, we'll just have to take the good and disregard the bad.
Yeah, ignore.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's what we have to do with everything,
Pretty
really.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, but I was disappointed because I really like her. Maybe we will find out there's more to the story, but I'm pretty sure there's not.
We'll just have to create our own version that's just called Does It Give You the Tingles? And then and there are no tchotchkes.
I guess it is always going to be a difficult balance, though, between capitalism,
Correct,
and self-help. Ultimately,
totally,
because no matter what, people are trying to get your money, whether it's the self-help folks or just the plain old consumerism stuff.
Yeah, and even in the book, like I think about all like the self-help kind of books that are all like, you have all the answers within you, but buy this book so that we could tell you that. Which I get. I mean, it's very important.
I got a great book in the mail the other day. It's an advanced copy, but it'll be out, I think, next year. And it's called How to Be Fine. And it's these two gals that have a podcast, and they do a different self-help book every 2 weeks.
Oh, cool.
And they do everything the book says.
Oh, how to be like fine. Not like how to be fine. Okay, got it. I didn't know which one.
How to be fine. I'm fine.
Got it. Fine.
And they go through all the books in their book and say like what worked, what didn't, what they liked, what they didn't. And that was the theme that kept coming up for me, was how you have to be very discerning as a consumer about the information you're reading or messages you're getting. Because everyone is trying to make money.
Yeah.
Some are doing it in a way that's noble and some are not. And it's kind of up to you to decide who's who.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Well, I watched this like short documentary. It was like 30 minutes long on Vice News that was all about LuLaRoe.
Yes.
Holy crap.
It upset you.
Whoa, yeah, that company. Fuck them.
Oh my gosh, Sarah.
Yeah.
The Brainiacs are going to revolt.
Well, they should do some research into the company and what they do and what is going on and the kind of, they had to change. They violated FCC's or whatever law
about
Federal
the pyramid
Trade
thing.
Yes,
yeah, that can get ugly.
And then when
they
I saw
do have some really nice leggings, I will say.
Oh my God, it's just insane. Watch this documentary and then.
My God, please send your mail to Sarah, not me.
Yeah,
please.
I'm going to stand by that.
They are nice leggings, though.
Good.
Be that as it may, Sarah is mad.
Yeah.
I should say also another great gift for the holidays is a subscription to the New Yorker for you or a loved one.
Yes.
You guys know we love them. Like all the articles that we talk about on this show, I feel like they all come from the New Yorker. It's the best writing in America today. And I kind of feel like, given the ways that journalists are under fire right now, I am all about supporting the good ones and the people that work really hard to bring you wonderful articles about everything from pop culture and arts. It's not just all high society stuff. It's like politics, of course, but also humor and cartoons. So there's something for everybody. I love Emily Nussbaum. She's a television critic. She writes amazing pieces. And they have the best deal ever, 12 weeks for just $6. So, and you get the tote. So you get 12 weeks of the New Yorker for $6 plus the exclusive tote. Go to newyorker.com/braincandy. And listeners save 50% when they enter Brain Candy as well. This would make a great gift. It's just the perfect time of year to do it. So newyorker.com/braincandy.
Yeah, like that's like a perfect little stocking stuffer because like you take the tote and then you roll it up and then you stick it in the stocking.
That's
and then
a great
it takes
idea.
up a good amount of space, but then it's also like a gift that's like a
You're
good
so
one.
good at that.
What,
stuff.
stockings
like, you
or
can
what?
already you envision things like that. Like you think about putting the thing in the stocking.
Oh yeah, because I love. I mean,
you
you
do
know
love
how
stockings.
and wrapping Christmas presents and
She
making
really
it look
does.
pretty. I do.
She's very passionate. I sure am. Okay, next up.
But the stocking is the best part of Christmas, if you ask me.
You know what, Sarah? Lincoln said the other day something to that effect.
Okay, I get
and
it.
I love that.
Yeah, he wants a lot of a little.
He goes, I love all those little things that are just like random and you have so much fun with them.
Same.
Yes.
Good. I love this. It's essentially a bunch of tchotchkes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, you can still get excited.
Yes.
Or you can open it first and it's
That's
like
why
an
he likes
appetizer.
fun-sized candy. That's why
I know. I do love the stocking too, though, for the record.
Yep. Buffet, he'd probably be for that too.
Whenever I was, he does love a buffet.
See, I know, I'm onto something here. I think that's why I had to throw it in. I was like creating a list. Same here. And it's having a lot of little.
Oh, God. Lincoln is like you, too? I am so outnumbered.
Yeah, that's true.
Criminy.
What if, that was my influence on him? Buffets and
that's
stockings. That's
not a bad thing.
Not the worst.
I like those things. When I was just doing the New Yorker thing, I was thinking about how they have pop culture. And I had read this article in Man Repeller about how pop culture is so important to know about, and I loved reading it because I love pop culture.
Yeah.
I, of course, love more lofty things as well.
Right.
But, I just love a palate cleanser and, fun information and shows and music and stuff.
And it also gives a snapshot of where we are in this
but
time.
Everyone kind of shits on it because it's not... It's low brow. And it was talking about how that's a sexist point of view. And that pretty much anything that men are into, we elevate, including even sports.
Correct.
Frankly,
ESPN and all that. It's
the way they talk about it, you would think they were curing cancer on there. I mean, it's just true. They get so serious.
Right. A million different analysts. That is a whole thing. Could you imagine if we had... yeah.
But if you're in a room, let's say you're in a room with mostly women, and you guys talk about the Kardashians, for example, you will inevitably get some man being like, what's a Kardashian?
Oh, for sure. 100%.
I don't even know who Billie Eilish is or whatever it is.
Yes.
And it is said in a way that means you're into stupid stuff and I'm above that.
Correct.
And I really...
Yes.
I could totally relate to this idea, and I do not like it.
Yes, because it would not hold the same impact if you walked in as a woman to a bunch of guys having a conversation and were like, what? I don't even know who Tom
what's
Brady
an NFL?
Is. Yeah.
I don't get it.
Right. They would just look at us like we're idiots.
True.
You don't know this thing that's... So maybe we just got to flip the script and be like, oh, so you've been living under a goddamn rock.
You mustn't read much.
Right. Like that.
Well, and it was describing...
Too much time watching sports.
I thought this was a great...
But I do love a Sunday football.
Yeah, you're a nice overlap. You're a good bridge between the genders.
Yes.
You are.
Thank you, Suze.
But they gave a great example of how when the Beatles first came out, obviously women were losing their minds, screaming like crazy.
Yeah.
All the men were like, what? They're just...
Oh, my gosh, because they were like heartthrobs. Teeny bopper heartthrobs.
They're a boy band.
They're a boy band.
Right? And then over time, more and more men realized what amazing musicians they are, and now it's like they're the best.
Well, and you know what? They have to pitch it. It can't be looked at as like a boy band who had a bunch of screaming girls in the audience. It's now analyzed.
They have to elevate it.
Yes. And it's like, let's look at the greatest records of all time and blah, 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 blah. And man, that is interesting.
It really was.
And they kind of gloss over the...
Like, as soon as they have an interest, they're like, okay, now we got to reframe this so it doesn't seem too girly. And so then it became like, they're prodigies, they're amazing, they're geniuses.
Yes.
Oh, now that you're into it, they're geniuses. Got it.
Correct.
But it's like that about everything.
Yeah, I even think about, it's like people... You know what? You think it has something to do with, men not wanting to, I don't know, almost like having a problem talking about men in that way.
For sure.
It's got to be like that, because I even think about Justin Timberlake. From NSYNC.
From NSYNC. I'm familiar.
You know?
Yeah.
And then he has a solo career, and it's kind of like...
Well, once he got funny on SNL, I think that they were more okay with liking him.
Yeah. It's like, do men not want to like a heartthrob?
No, I don't think so. Especially when they're white, I think.
And then sometimes they go the other direction. We're like, oh, yeah, I got a total man crush on him.
Yeah, now it's like that. Yeah. They have to say something like that to make it
What did you say about them being white?
I think that
usually...
Whenever the heartthrob is white, whenever it's a white boy band, I think there's especially this well, you know, it's gay to like them. But when there's distance,
right?
Like if it were,
I think it's the seeing themselves in that and feeling like, no, I gotta. Oh God, that's that toxic.
It's so layered.
Yes.
But that's why I love articles like that, because they're
it's so layered. Yes.
pulling from gender studies and important scholarly ideas, but they're being like, hey, it's okay to like you can watch reality TV and it's fine.
I like that.
And it can be important and teach us, as you said, about culture and BBB.
Absolutely. In fact, I just started following a new account that's all about like success and being an entrepreneur and all this kind of stuff. It's like really positive and really motivational, and I'm really loving it. But they had this little like screen or you know, slide, one of those carousel things, photos of like the youngest people to become billionaires and the age that they became billionaires. There are only 2 women on the list, J.K. Rowling and Kylie Jenner, who is also the youngest. At 21, she was a billionaire. And I mean, it just kind of made me think about how even I like kind of looked at her and maybe the things I thought about her. I'm like, girl's a freaking billionaire. Joke's on us.
Yeah.
Like, she's fine. And and you can't just you can't become a billionaire by being a total moron who's just like, you know,
no,
like dance monkey dance thing. She's involved. She's like, she's freaking.
I think that
good,
it really
get it, girl.
messes with people's heads though when you're both. Like,
correct. They want to make a reason for it. They want to, you know, say a million things. It's her team. It's her mom. It's her da-da-da-da. I mean, maybe that helps, but...
On a much, much smaller scale, I feel like this when I go into meetings, that when you're a doctor, you're supposed to be a certain thing. And when you don't fit into that, and when you have fake tits and bleached hair, they cannot process it. And so it's almost like they have to decide... You aren't actually... I told you, when I go into meetings, they're like, do people call you doctor?
I hate that. And don't you say women are worse at that, like sometimes?
Well, they definitely say it more.
Yeah, they're more outspoken about it.
But I think it's what you just said about seeing yourself. and
oh my gosh, we're
having breakthroughs, you guys.
Woo! This is a good episode.
And so it really...
Damn.
I get it, and I'm sympathetic because that's a human foible. Like, we all have that problem where, like, someone doesn't match our expectation, and then our brain has to do some heavy labor.
Oh my gosh. Well, because expectations are they give birth to disappointment.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so then it gets all muddy. But I mean, what is not disappointing is every time I've ever used stamps.com.
Never. Disappointing. However, you will be disappointed if you do not use it, like I did the other day, and had to go in because I didn't want to bug you, and we share the same login information. I was like, I don't remember. Whatever. It was a mistake.
Yeah, you should have just texted.
Already crazy there.
Because stamps.com is so convenient. It's great because you can print out the postage right from your desk, put it on the thing, and then put it right out to get picked up by your mail carrier. There is literally nothing more to it. And they have discounts as well. You get 5 cents off every first class stamp, up to 40% off priority mail.
That's the one that I was kicking myself about.
Was it real expensive what you did?
I mean...
It was more. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care if it's 40%
That's
more.
That's true. She likes a deal.
Yeah.
And everybody does. We love saving time and money. Don't spend a minute of your holiday season at the post office this year. Sign up for Stamps.com instead. Please, there's no risk. With our promo code BrainCandy, you get a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in BrainCandy. That's Stamps.com. Enter BrainCandy, Stamps.com. Never go to the post office again. We have a guest today.
Oh, I love a guest.
This gal was introduced to me by a friend. Her name is Jess Suchan, and she has a blog and a company called Body Bliss by Jess. She's cool because she is a former yo-yo dieter, which I think a lot of people can relate to, and she got sick of it. And so she wanted to do a more holistic approach, and then everyone started wanting advice.
Yeah.
You know how that goes.
Totes.
And so she's like, okay, well, like, I'll just make a system. So she has consulting and all great cleanses and systems for you to do whatever it is that your body needs. And she's so motivational and inspiring. You know,
I think that's so good to keep people accountable, because sometimes it's like, doesn't matter what information is out there, I can learn it. But if I don't have somebody who helps me, like as a coach, be accountable,
keep you on track.
I'll do it for them more than I'll do it for me.
Sometimes with those folks, I am not into it because it feels like predatory. This wasn't like that at all. This felt like she was in the business of lifting people up. It wasn't about the number on the scale. It was just like helping people live their best life, like Oprah. And I just like what she's doing. She's super nice. So check out her website, Body Bliss by Jess, and enjoy her on the show. Welcome, Jess. Jess, thank you for coming on Brain Candy. So excited to chat with you. I have heard so much about you. I don't know where to begin. You have quite a story. Why don't you tell me about sort of your history? Because I read that you were a yo-yo dieter way back in the day. Is that right?
Yes. So first of all, thank you so much for having me on. I'm so excited to be here. Yay. And I've been looking forward to it all day. But yes, so my history, I always say that it's tough for me to sort of like condense my history into like a few minutes because it's so much. But essentially I started yo-yo dieting right after high school, those sort of like impressionable years between high school and college. Mm-hmm. And it was because I had always been really active. I was raised by a health educator mom. She's actually now my business partner.
Oh, wow.
So it's so cool, kind of come full circle. But, as you do, you kind of rebel against your parents. And even though we always made like healthy dinners every evening and ate together as a family, and we would juice together on the weekends, and we didn't even watch TV. We could watch movies, and we were just really creative as a family, very like holistic lifestyle. But as I got into high school, I joined some sports teams and was really active, and I learned about fast food and going off campus with my friends. And because I was so active playing sports, I never really had to think about like eating that third chalupa or like cooking mac and cheese with my friend after school, or like sneaking in Subway before I'd go home for dinner, because I was working out so hard, especially on the swim team. And so when I stopped all the sports at the end of high school, that was when all of a sudden it was like, okay, boom.
Right, because you had created these behaviors, but then now you're not accompanying it with movement, right?
Yes, exactly. And so much of it I was kind of hiding from my parents. Mm-hmm. And so I would still eat the meals at home, but then I would just go to Starbucks for the whatever venti frappuccinos with caramel. And I put on about 40 pounds really rapidly, like within a couple of months.
Oh, wow.
And it was my mom who brought it to my attention, just in a very like gentle way. Like she was concerned about me.
Yeah.
And I just took it as like, she figured it out. People noticed, I thought I was hiding it. I thought wearing extra layers of clothing and stuff and putting on more makeup and putting bronzer on my boobs would distract away from the weight I had put on. And when it was kind of called out, it was like, okay, I need to figure out a way to get this off and quick, because people are starting to notice I'm about to go into college. I want to look good. I want to meet guys. And so I found some diet pills that a friend had given me, and I took those, and I tried not to eat while I took the diet pills. And I just, I started experimenting with all kinds of restricted ways of eating. So I did everything from like Atkins to the Master Juice Cleanse to macro tracking, calorie tracking. And once I figured out that I could sort of control my weight with restriction, I used that to be able to binge drink on the weekends with my friends in college and do like late night Taco Bell. But then come Monday, it was all about restriction and over exercising.
Right.
And I don't know if you can relate to that, but it was a cycle that went on all the way until even after college.
Oh, and this is so common too. Your story is like so many, especially women, And I think that's so relatable because that's what we're all doing.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just really frustrating because when you get in that cycle, you don't know how to get out of it because you're so fearful that if you break free from it, you'll all of a sudden put back all the weight.
Yeah.
And you're just terrified. And it's kind of like that safety net, which is so uncomfortably safe, but it's torturous. And I've always kind of been a private person when I'm going through hardships or internal battles or breakups or whatever it is. I always feel like, or at least in the past, that I could get through it on my own. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of what I did with all these diets. I didn't really share, that I was going on another diet with people. I would just kind of do it. And then when I was out with people, they wouldn't think about it because that would be my cheat day. They wouldn't notice, So it really took all the way through. It was for 12 years that I and it wasn't really until, there's so much more that happened, but to skip forward, I eventually met my now husband and we moved to Los Angeles from Portland, Oregon. We also taught English in South Korea for a year. We had all these different adventures and then moved to LA and I got this super stressful career in PR and marketing at this entertainment firm. And prior to that, I had worked in event production. And I just had no work-life balance. And I was just high octane, always stressed, wouldn't take lunch breaks.
Crazy hours.
Didn't know crazy hours around the clock, and developed really severe migraines as a result. And so when I wasn't able to get relief through doctors, because I kept being put on prescription medications that would take away the headache, but then as soon as the medication wore off, it would come back with a vengeance. And I decided, okay, none of these medications are working. I'm sick all the time. I have to leave work and lay in a dark room for days at a time. I need to go back to my roots. I need to go back to what my mom taught me with holistic practices, with using food as medicine, self-care, all the things that I grew up with, and I need to channel that. And that's what I did, and I overcame my migraines. And as a result, I also broke free from the restrictive dieting and had this epiphany that I wanted to help other women to do the same. And so I took a leap of faith and started my own practice as a health coach, went back to school, did a bunch of side hustles to make it happen. And here I am.
That's amazing. No, I think that's so cool that, you had something that you were struggling with. And then once you sort of figured out how to overcome it, then you wanted to help other people do the same. And given that this is such a common problem, I'm sure you've started to see commonalities amongst people of why maybe they get into this cycle and then how to get out. What are some of the things that help women get out of that cycle? Or not just women, but it is mostly.
Yeah, it definitely affects men as well, but primarily women, I would say, especially with the pressures of, social media and just cultural norms and all that stuff that are changing, but there is still a lot of pressure on women to look a certain way.
Yeah.
And I know that for me personally, it was kind of heightened when I moved to LA because there is, so many, everybody cares about looking and being fit because it's so sunny and we have Hollywood here. And I think that also skewed the perception of my own body and hard. And so, but it exists everywhere. And so I think, and I personally work solely with women, and this is something that almost all of my clients come to me, maybe initially they think, oh, I want to lose weight, or, I want to get back to my goals, which of course, I can help people to lose weight and get healthy and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, when I start asking more questions, it comes down to the fact that they're pretty overwhelmed by all of the conflicting advice out there.
Yeah.
Might be paleo one week, vegan the next, keto the next. And a lot of these women are just cycling through all of these different diets and feel like as soon as Monday comes around, they're going to be on some other restrictive diet, and they're just living in the highs and lows of a cheat day, or just waiting for the weekend. And they just really want help breaking free. So for me, some of the best practices that I use are channeling mindfulness and intuitive eating, and also understanding why it is that you're eating the foods that you are. Because I feel like, especially with social media, if you follow food bloggers or even, health experts or just people that you admire, it can be hard to know what works for you, because maybe one day you see like an amazing smoothie bowl and you're like, that looks so incredible. They're saying how great they feel. Like, I should do that. And start doing that every day. And then maybe you see that zucchini noodles are like a great swap for pasta, and that you shouldn't eat carbs because they're bad. And so you start doing zucchini noodles every night. And then you hear that you should take this supplement. So you're taking that. And then you're not really necessarily feeling the way that you want to, or seeing the results that you want, or maybe you're just feeling kind of stuck in this cycle or this rut of just going after what the latest and greatest thing is, and not really tuning in to what feels good for you. And so I always say that it's about looking at all the shoulds that are on your plate. Like, what are you saying you should do right now? I should go to this HIIT training class because everybody that I see online that goes to this one specific HIIT training class has abs, and I want abs. Or I should eat that smoothie bowl because there's so many nutritionists out there doing it, and I hear that it's great for blood sugar balance and I can lose weight. Or I should go to this social event because it's going to be great for my career. Whatever it is, it's like looking at those shoulds and then asking yourself, why are you doing it? Are you doing it because you really feel that you should, and if you don't, you feel guilty? Or are you doing it because it actually feels really good in your body? And kind of writing a should list of like all the shoulds that are going through your brain at any given moment. And then taking a step back and asking yourself, what really feels good to me? Like, what do I really enjoy eating for breakfast?
Yeah.
Like, when I was a child, like, what was my favorite breakfast? Was it cereal? And maybe you stopped eating cereal because of all carbs. And so it's like, well, okay, if your goal is maybe you do want to lose weight, and that's okay. I mean, that's completely fine, but you can still have cereal. Think about maybe what you can add to it that's going to make you more satisfied or full, or give you what you want, which is maybe the energy to last you through the day or through your workout, and go back to that place of what you really enjoyed, and then figure out how to recreate it in a way that you'll love, and start to, keep a journal of the foods that you're eating and how they make you feel, and then become a compassionate detective into your own body, and ask yourself, what is it that really is working for me right now and what's not? And I think it's just really about tuning into your body, knowing that you are the best science experiment that exists. So much better than all the studies that are out there, because at the end of the day, if you listen, your body will send you messages. And if you continue to listen, you will see results.
That is such good advice. And I love that idea about the shoulds, because that is the refrain in our mind all the time, is I ought to do this, I should do this. But we don't really dig deeper and ask, well, why? And what is the motivation of that should? And isn't it funny? I've been hearing so much about this idea of intuitive eating and how effective it is for people. Isn't it crazy that we have to actually train ourselves to just sort of listen to our body?
I know. It's actually really crazy when you think about it. And it's because of all of the little voices in our head. And it's like we can't even drown them out anymore because they're so loud. And I always say that for so many years of my life, I would just ignore the voices in my head, or I would listen to the voices in my head, ignore my own voice. And sometimes the messages my body was sending me, it'd be like someone like blowing a horn in my ear, and I'd be like, I don't care. It's like, or someone screaming at me to listen. I'm like, just shut up. I don't care.
And the wrong messages are often reinforced by things like social media and commercials and someone who wants to sell you something. And so it is hard to tell, oh, I'm just hungry right now and it's fine because that's normal, versus I shouldn't eat and I've had too much, whatever it is. It's hard to know what the right voice is to listen. So it sounds like you're good at teaching people how to know which voice is the correct one.
Yeah, and it takes time. You know, it's not going to happen overnight. And so that's why I have a lot of my clients keep a food and mood journal and just write down what it is that they eat and how it made them feel. And not just, you know, if they felt like it was good for their goals, but did they enjoy it? Did they like the taste, the texture, the flavor? Did they feel satisfied, or were they craving sugar right afterwards? You know, how are their energy levels? And I don't like them to write down specific amounts. Like, I don't want it to be like smoothie bowl, 1 tablespoon of nut butter,
right.
0.5 spoons. I just want it to be, you know, nut butter toast with bananas or whatever. And then this is how I felt, because I also want to help women to get away with the obsession that we have with numbers, because we're so obsessed with counting our calories, with tracking our macros, with the number that shows up on the scale when we step on it, the number of our pant sizes, our shirt size. You know, we're so obsessed with numbers, and at the end of the day, they tell us very, very little, and have the ability to make or break our entire day, our week, our month. You know, it's like you can step on a scale and be feeling on top of the world, be feeling like you look great, you love your life, your relationships, you're excited for what's to come. You step on the scale and you're 5 pounds more than what you thought, and all of a sudden, what happens? Like your entire mindset changes, and you look at yourself in the mirror and all of a sudden you don't like what you see as much. Yeah. You go into a setting, or maybe you're planning to go out to dinner that night, and you're then judging everything you're eating and you're restricting yourself. So you're not really living in the moment as much as you would if you wouldn't have stepped on the scale. Yeah. And so it's really just, it really can be such a torture device. I mean, it's fine, you know, to step on the scale once in a while, but I think to have it be like an every day or even every week thing, it just can really derail your goals, your mindset, your confidence, and everything, really. Yeah. I just don't understand.
What is your advice for something that I struggle with, and I think a lot of people do, which is the negative self-talk? The things that we're willing to say to ourselves are often so much worse than we would ever even say to our enemies. What is your advice for people who struggle with that?
Yeah, I mean, we're always our own worst critic, and it's so true, exactly what you said. I think to flip that and say the opposite, it's that we need to learn to speak to ourselves the way that we would a child or our best friend. And we would never say the things that we say to ourselves to our best friend. If we would, we need to reevaluate ourselves as a friend. Yeah. Because we would never say, you know, you're a fat slob, or like you're not good enough, or
you're a loser.
Like lose weight. Yeah, you're a loser. You're not successful enough. You'll never be able to, you know, own your own business or succeed as an entrepreneur. It's like these things that we tell ourselves. And I always say, I think that those voices that are so negative, the things that we tell ourselves, that honestly is just a powerful script in our heads. It's like the script that we've been telling ourselves over and over again for years and years and years. Like if you memorize a script for a movie, or I don't know, a speech or something, you know, the more you say it, you know, the easier it becomes to just say it without even having to think about it. And the more times you say it, the more you believe it to be true. Right. And so, you know, it's almost like a compulsive liar. They start to believe their lies because they say the same thing over and over again, and then they don't know the difference between fact and fiction. And so we start to believe essentially the lies that we tell ourselves. And we need to be able to acknowledge that negative frame of mind and those negative thought patterns and those limiting beliefs, and bring them to reality. Because once we do that, they can be changed. Until we really acknowledge it, we're kind of shoving it down, and it's like subconsciously we're able to sort of, you know, push it down, push it down, push it down. But if we bring it up and it's like, hold on. It's like, what am I actually saying to myself? Oh, I'm calling myself ugly, fat slob, unsuccessful, all of these different things. Is that true? Mm-hmm. And do I want to be that person? No. So how can I bring it to awareness and then decide to change it?
Yeah.
And that's what we really have to do, because the only thing that we really have control over is our thoughts, and our thoughts do become our reality.
And it's so powerful too. And it is just a habit you get into. So you do have to become aware and then try to reverse it, because it's perpetuating. It's so frustrating.
Yeah. And it's easy to keep repeating the same negative thought patterns, and it's harder to change them. So that's why it's practice.
Right.
And that's why the power of positive affirmations is really important. And I think sometimes it gets a bad rap, because it's like, oh, I'm just going to say something positive about myself, and all of a sudden I'll change what I think. Mm-hmm. No, that's probably not going to happen, because you may likely give up on it too soon, too quickly. It's just like how the negative thoughts, we say them for so long that they become ingrained. We have to put the same amount of effort to the positive. So if you don't think that the positive affirmations have worked, it's because they probably just haven't worked yet.
Right.
We do that too easily.
Well, my co-host always talks about too how, we're always comparing ourselves to like the perfect version of ourselves, what we want to be ideally. And she's like, instead of doing that, why don't we just look at yesterday? Can I do better today than I did yesterday, and make these small changes that you do more meaningful, and you can celebrate those little victories rather than, I'm still not the perfect version of myself yet.
Yeah, I really love that. And I think you can also use that like at the end of the week, instead of being like, oh, these are all the things on my to-do list I've done. It's like, look back at your week and look at everything that you did get done.
Yes, right.
And everything that you're proud of yourself for. And just like you said, all the little victories, because no matter how small they are, those are the things that are going to add up to create big change long. And so I love to like think of or write down a few affirmations that really resonate with you. Like, could be simple as I'm enough, or I matter, or I'm worthy of abundance, or I'm useful and energized. Or it could be something a little bit deeper. Like, I love the one, I'm going to make you so proud. Like, I am going so proud, and just say that conviction. And then, your actions will want to follow that, because you feel so good when you say it. And it's like, you don't want to let yourself down. You want to be proud of yourself, and you want to be happy. That's one that at least really works for me.
And then that.
You like that?
Yeah, that's really sweet. And it's something you would say to your friend. And so why not say it to yourself and encourage yourself?
Yeah, exactly. And initially, something that you could do, if it's hard to think about affirmations right from the start, but you could set an affirmation alarm on your phone. And so once a day, the alarm goes off at a time that you choose, and maybe there's a little notification that pops up that has written in it a positive affirmation that you want to say or hear that day. And you say it out loud to yourself in that moment. And that's just kind of creates the habit of it, so that so you don't need the alarm, or maybe you love it and you use it all the time.
That's really cute. We have one thing we ask everybody at the end, which is, what do you keep in the trunk of your car?
You do not want to.
Why? What's in there?
Everything. It's awful.
Well, we've heard every answer under the sun, so there's no judgment here.
I will tell you what's currently in the trunk of my car.
Okay. What's in there?
Actually, this is kind of fitting. It is about 4 bags of clothing that I'm going to take to a donation center.
Yay.
And it's taking up the whole trunk. I have a yoga mat there that I'm going to give away. But that's actually a tip that I love to give people, is that one way to improve your self-confidence is by getting rid of any clothing that just doesn't make you feel good.
Right.
And just out of there. Get it out of there.
Yes. You don't want it anyway.
No, know. Feels so good to let go.
Yeah, see, that's a great answer. And hey, we all drive around with those bags in our car for a while. It takes a minute to get to the donation center.
Yeah,
so
and
it's
I
fine.
don't know if you have a donation center that you love, but I've been hearing that Goodwill just is not the best because they raise the rates so high for people that it's hard for people to afford it. Oh. And so, I've been trying to find one that I really love. So,
that's a good tip. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find one locally. But
exactly.
I just want to encourage people, tell them your website so they can visit and see what you're up to.
Sure. So it's bodyblissbyjess.com. And then on Instagram, it's also bodyblissbyjess.
Cool. And you have coaching services, all types of stuff that you can help people with. So they should check it out and see what you have to offer. And you give wellness events and retreats and in the LA area as well. So that's super cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I have a lot of different things on there. So if you have any questions, I love to connect too. Feel free to reach out at any time.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on Brain Candy. I'm sure a lot of people will relate to your story and be inspired by your work now.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. I really enjoyed this time with you. Thank you.
This podcast is brought to you by Wave Podcast Network. Check out all of our shows, including the Brain Candy Podcast, I Don't Get It, Coffee Convos, and Let's Talk About It.